Alright, Harvey. How you doing? Doing good? Nice. Nice.
Again, Commander.
I killed the big bear. The rest are yours.
Excellent. I'll organize a hunt when the immediate threat of the Geth is gone.
Fork over the reward so I can get back to more important things?
Of course. I don't want to delay you any more than I already have. Your help is appreciated, but we're not up.
Nice work with those Geth. Glad you showed up. I still need the power cells for this generator, though.
I found these power cells in the tunnels. Are they what you're looking for?
I knew they'd turn up eventually. Here, Fidan gave me some requisition money. It's all yours. Now, if I can kick these power cells into place, I'll have this colony up and running in no time. Thanks for getting me these power cells.
I think that Louis Samira will be a good signing. Like, if it goes through, hopefully. I mean, I can't say the lad's like getting that much game time, to be honest, because he's 19-year-old and also he hasn't played any first team football, and that for Benfica he's only played for the B team. So I think in the long run he could be in that. Like, I could potentially see Bellingham and Trianatis getting more game time. Like, provided the deals go through, of course. And that because them two actually have a little bit more first team experience, whereas Samiro doesn't. So
the water started running not long ago. Thanks to you, I assume. Now we just need to deal with the Geth and we can get back to growing this colony. Here, a few credits for your trouble. Thank you again, Commander. Restoring the water supply was a great help. But it means nothing if the Geth kill you.
Commander, what can I do for you?
I destroyed a Geth transmitter in the tunnels. They won't be a problem any longer.
Thank you, Commander. We're in your debt. You've taken a great weight off my shoulders. I just wish I had such good news for every problem.
Let's talk about Zoo's Hope and Pharos in general.
Of course, Commander.
There's a guy living down in the tunnels. Is he one of yours?
That would be Ian. He's very sick.
He seems to be more than just sick.
He hasn't been the same since the attack. We tried to help him, but he wouldn't
Caught
listen
in
to
exile,
us.
Mac and the Bellingham one has a
I
problem
can't
though.
help my people if they won't listen, Commander.
I've seen like a few little like rumours and
I
reports
wish it
and
was
that,
that simple.
and that like
Ian was a
saying
good
that
man I'd like to have
the
with us.
deal's not as far ahead as what some people were saying. Like apparently we've only offered £1 million, really, not £3 million as originally like was reported. So you don't really know what to believe at the minute. So I mean, I think we probably will get him. The fact that he's like attended like a couple of games and stuff, and that, and the fact that Speakman and Dodds and that like seem to be like, you know, like making him interested to join, but it might end up like taking a little bit longer. So
Some of the colonists are acting strange.
We're a close-knit group, Commander. Most of us have lost loved ones, friends.
These aren't trained soldiers. Nobody taught us how to deal with the horrors of war.
This is our home. We've watched the Geth slowly destroy everything that is important to us. Don't judge us too harshly.
I'll talk to you when I learn more.
Good luck.
I clip mate. How you doing? Doing well, nice. Yeah, I'm okay. Not too bad.
And now to the Geth base. Ready for it.
The last batch went south. Are they moving forward?
We're picking up a concept. It's neat, but there's definitely someone else. More chatter incoming. Still no fix.
Any sign of movement? Whisper could still be in there. It's only been a few days.
See that Burnley is back in pre-season. They're doing pre-season already. Jesus, early start.
I'll wait as long as I have to.
Right, our first pre-season gives not until what was it, July the 4th or something? Against Southfield. I mean, obviously, you might not be like talking about like actual like matches and that, but just like doing pre-season like already. So. The Champions League final hasn't even happened. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like the Saturday coming. Some need more experience, even if the younger still have experience, but the bigger problem is younger people tend to make more mistakes. Thinks that you'll win that. Well, I mean, City should be the favourites for it, but there again, City should have won the Champions League a couple of seasons ago when they got beat off Chelsea. So, and that's the thing. I don't think Inter Milan will be any pushovers and that. But yeah, it's probably one of the best opportunities that City are going to have to win it. If City don't beat Inter Milan, then City are never going to win the Champions League. It's as simple as that.
We've got movement. Some kind of vehicle. Not one of the Geth.
More chatter incoming, Commander. Still no fix.
Forget them. We need to find the Geth.
Forget them. Oh, good old Rex.
That's close enough.
Relax, John. They're obviously not Geth.
That's it. We'll never. Yeah. That's true.
Who are you? What do you want?
Commander Shepard, I'm here to remove your Geth problem.
You see? You worry too much.
And you trust too easily, Juliana.
I'm just glad to see a friendly face. I thought we were the only humans left on this planet.
Thane and some of the members of Zoo's Hope are still alive.
I thought you said they were all dead.
I said they were probably all dead.
They're still alive, but the Geth hit them pretty hard.
We know what that's like. Those damn synthetics are relentless.
I'll do whatever I can to keep them away from you. But I need some information.
What kind of information?
Ignore him. The Geth are up in the Exogeny headquarters, just a bit further along the Skyway.
Those headquarters are private property, soldier. Remove the Geth and nothing else.
I'm not interested in your company's secrets.
Commander, before you go, my daughter, Lisbeth, she's missing.
They shouldn't waste time poking around. We can do a proper accounting of our casualties after the Geth are gone.
That's my daughter you're talking about. She's still alive. I know it.
Where is your daughter,
I
Julia?
don't hear what my sources has told me about the Bellingham deal. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
I think I have an idea what you're probably going to see in that, because a lot of reports are starting to see it now that the deal's not that far ahead, and also we've only offered £1 million, and that were originally reported we offered £3 million for him. So
If she's in there, I'll get her out.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you.
What was the building used for?
Oh, yeah, we repurposed that structure to serve as headquarters for Exogeny. That's mostly offices with a number of light-duty R&D labs.
Exogeny is a master at repurposing anything and everything.
he's agreed a 4-year contract but fee on. Sometimes that winds you up, that doesn't it? I mean, it's not just with us and that, it's with any club and that. Like you agree like personal terms in a contract with the player, but you don't agree the fee and the deal with the actual like club and that. Like it winds you up, that it really does.
How did you get split up from
Like I said, that's not just a Sunderland thing, and that happens with like loads of teams. I don't know why they do that for. Like agree with the team before the player, because what's the point in agreeing with the player if you haven't agreed with the team yet? Isn't that so?
They were killed in the first wave. If we had known they were still alive, we might have attempted to join them.
They're fairly secure now. Maybe you should do that.
No. I don't think that's a good idea. We have no vehicles, and the Skyway offers little protection.
Like the building we're in now?
Listen, our best hope is to sit tight and wait for company reinforcements. Come eventually.
Another reason why they agree with the player before the club, yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be like a whole case that he wants to come and that because of the whole no one like Speakman and Mike Dodds and everything and that, but yeah.
Tell me about the colony.
We established ourselves here 4 years ago. Growth was steady until the attacks. Our biggest challenge has been the lack of resources. There's just so little here of value. Still, we were making a go of it. It was even starting to feel like home.
What brought you here?
I guess I thought this would be the start of a new life. I wanted to go where I could feel like I was making a difference. Instead, everything we built is destroyed. It's very hard not to lose hope.
Do you know what the Geth are after?
I have no idea.
Did you hear that rumour about John Henson rejoining us, even though I can't?
Something Exogeny is keen to remind us of.
If it happens, I don't see it happening because he's still got a...
Nothing personal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Henderson will come back, like, eventually, but probably not for, like, another year or two.
Where is your daughter, Juliana?
So you know that the player is interested in coming, because if you don't know if the player wants to come, you agree a fee and doesn't you waste it. Yeah, I suppose that is true. But at the same time, though, you can like get like a situation, you know, like a Will Griggs situation where he never wanted to come to Sunderland, full stop. But as soon as we offered the money that Wigan wanted, they still sold him, even though the player didn't want to come. So, I mean, yes, ultimately it does lie with like whether a player wants to leave or not. But at the end of the day, the clubs do have all the like the power, and that's whether a player wants to stay at the club or leave the club in the end. So it just depends on certain situations. So, but yeah, I can understand it as well. Yeah, you can see both sides to it.
I was hoping you'd have a moment to speak with me. I've got a bit of a problem.
Ella Sims link back
What
to
do
us,
you need?
yeah.
I need to retrieve.
I'd like to see Sims come back. I would.
Sounds easy enough.
I'd be happy if I was Strike Force's Stuart Sims and Samirdo, like if it did happen. So.
Well, that's very comforting. Certain death for some, fine for us.
It's not that bad, really. All you need to do is find my console at Exogeny headquarters and drop the data onto this OSD. It's that simple.
I'll look around if I get the chance.
I appreciate it. That data could be worth a lot of money. Of course, this all depends on getting out of here alive.
Scored a last minute goal against Chelsea Soldier. So that does say a lot. Yeah. The thing I never get with the Grig, if he didn't want to come, why didn't he just say no? By probably money and that like spoke as well, because he came here for the wages as well. Even though we were in League One and that, we were probably like under Donald and Method, and that the wage bill was a little bit of a mess, wasn't it? So Grig was probably getting more money here in League One than what he was getting with probably Wigan in the Championship.
Tell me about the data I'm getting for you.
Plans for a few prototype mods. I'm a freelancer. Some of my mods are highly sought.
Also, another thing is that I suppose now and that probably wouldn't like expect any. Like, yeah, like some deals might say they've been like confirmed and they've been agreed and stuff, but I wouldn't expect to see like any players like unveiled or anything in that, especially like players from abroad, because the full like window doesn't actually open until the 1st of July, and that the window that's opening soon on the 14th of June, I think it is. Like that window is just obviously where you can do business with fellow English clubs and like free transfers. Like and so I know you do free transfers now and that players from abroad like Samirdo and Trianatis, and I wouldn't expect it to hear anything from them and that until the 1st of July, if I'm being honest. You never know. You never know.
Why work in the middle of nowhere if your skills are so useful?
Maybe
I Chelsea were very power. My man could have scored against Chelsea last season. Oh, sorry to hear that.
Freelancers don't have to worry about security.
But yeah, Chelsea were very poor last season.
Do you have any idea what the Geth were looking for?
That's for smarter men than me to figure out. I have no idea what anyone would want with this ruin.
Time to get moving.
Just keep in mind what I say.
Please keep your fire.
Bully is an idiot. Got rid of Tuchel after you just exactly that. That's still what winds us up. That it really does. I'm not even a Chelsea fan of that, but you don't sack a manager that just won you the Champions League.
You're not much of a people person, are you?
I like people. I just like them more when they're helping Exogeny profit. Someone needs to worry about the bottom line. I'm the only one left.
Do you have any idea why the Geth attacked you?
None. We're scrambling to find anything of value. There's nothing here to warrant an invasion. There's barely enough here to warrant a colony.
Tell me about Exogeny.
Please. Exogeny Corp is the premier engine of colonization in the new multi-system economy. And in conjunction with our core interests, exploration provides a broad investment base for shareholders.
What are the company's core interests?
My mate who's a college, who's a Chelsea.
Our
Chelsea fan still goes mad about that, yeah. Ridiculous. Sounds a bit like the...
There are many other industrial branches, but they aren't really relevant to Pharaohs.
Like those stupid Tony Mowbray rumours about replacing him, and it's disrespectful and a bit of an insult. Do you know what, right? The God's honest truth in that, because... I mean, these deals should go ahead, but now... That's the thing, they're even saying now that the Trianatis side deal might not be as like far ahead as what they were saying before. I hate to say this, I really do. But let's just say if all three of these potential deals and that were apparently close, let's just say if they don't happen or anything, or just say if one luckily happens, I wouldn't be surprised if there was actually some truth to like the whole Mowbray like rumours and stuff and that, like eventually. I'm not saying it will, and I hope not. I want Tony Mowbray to stay at least for another season at least. But it's just if these deals don't happen and that, then God knows what's really going on behind the scenes. But obviously we'll just have to wait and see. But it's just not really a good sign when you're starting to hear about potential deals that are nowhere near being done yet, or not that far ahead as what people are saying, but hopefully they still get done. Maybe I'm just panicking with the deals there either got ahead of themselves or something has yeah.
Tell me about yourself, Jean.
Oh, just press the wrong button there.
I'm going.
Oh. Getting stuck. I cannot be asked with that, Alex. The only difference is Mowbray wants to bloody steer. Why, yeah. That's technically like a situation that makes it worse, isn't that? Like if you did like change manager and that when the manager wants to steer, and that's what makes it worse.
The Skyway's crawling again. Package is secure. We're leaving now. Perimeter secured.
Mowbray will steer, don't worry. Yeah, I should do. Say that's kind of like another. That's like another reason why I stopped doing the videos on my main channel and that, because like sometimes I'm one of those like people and that, you know, when you start like hearing reports and rumours about, you know, deals not potentially happening or things have like stalled and that, then I start like panicking and stuff and that, and yeah, so that's kind of like another reason why I kind of like backed away from all that as well. I mean, yeah, like obviously deep down, I do think to myself like, yeah, Mowbray will likely steer, but it's just like when you start like, because you start getting excited about, you know, deals that you like it looks like we're going to do early business and that, but now it's starting to look like that early business might not be as blooming early now, unfortunately. But we'll just have to wait and see. Imagine what we could have done with Mowbray if we had the likes of Stuart, Alicia, and a few others. Yeah, could have done a Burnley. I don't know about a Burnley or anything of that, because when everybody's fit, our team is really good and that, but I don't think it's walk the league, but like start like, you know, material team and that. Had everyone been fit, I think we might have finished a little bit higher, like maybe 5th or maybe 4th potentially, and that, like if we had like an injury for like pre-season. But I don't know about like Burnley, like starting like obviously Burnley, like, you know, so much quality all over the pitch. Although I will say one thing though, Burnley walked the league and that with a pretty poor goalkeeper. I don't rate that Muric like in goal and that. I think he's awful. And that Vincent Kompany wants he's like keeping the player from the back and that, and he's terrible with the ball at his feet, that Muric. I think that's the only weak link. I think that's one like position that Burnley need to address it like in the summer and that, because that Muric should be no good in the Premier League. I'm telling you. He got away with a lot of like mistakes in the Championship. He won't get away with them in the Premier League, I'll tell you that. But that is something else that I want Sunderland to do as well, right? I mean, I know the club are like, I know it's all about like recruiting like young talent and stuff and like potential. Like I get that, I do, right? But I do want us to sign a couple of. I'm not saying like every signing has to be this, but I do want us to be signing players that can go straight into the starting 11. You know, some players that could be like an upgrade, right? Because at the minute, the only player that we seem to be like properly linked with and we seem to have like proper interest in that's going to improve us is that from here. from Heerenveen, you know, the 28-year-old Dutch midfielder. He's the only one that we seem to be linked with that's going to improve our midfield. Whereas, like, every other signing at the minute is just like yeah, like for the future potential, but not players that walk straight into starting 11, if that makes sense. And that's something that does need to like happen. Obviously, like well, obviously there's still plenty of time because obviously the window still hasn't officially opened yet, so obviously not panicking just yet. I don't really think about what happened if players stayed fit because no point thinking about it because you can't. Yeah. I suppose that is true. No, I mean we still did fantastic though to finish in the top 6 with all the injury problems and that, but I suppose you could say injury problems and maybe obviously not doing enough business in January cost us a trip to Wembley, in my opinion. Had we had better luck with injuries and if we'd done a little bit more business in the January window on that, I think we could have actually won the playoffs, to be honest. Or like I said, at the very least, got to Wembley. Like one of the two. It was another bit of yep, that is true. And the lady said he was not ready at first but after turned very good, and that's where we need to improve players who are ready. Don't say that's something that we need. I mean, yeah, like I know a lot of our signings will be in that situation where they're not going to be ready like straight away. I'd say, Terry, what Saren is a traitor nowhere? Oh yes, Saren is a traitor. Obviously I know that, it's just like for every stream I always like to think of some title and that. I know it's not a great title and that, but it's something, so yeah. But yes, Saren is a traitor. End of the day, injuries happen in football. You're going to have a full squad and fit all season, that's the way it happens. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you can be lucky in that, but unfortunately in that way, we just weren't.
Damn it! I'm so
That comes
sorry.
back to experience. Yep,
I thought
that's
you were
true.
Geth, or one of those Baron.
You're safe now. But why were you here in the first place?
It's my own fault. Everyone else was running, and I stayed to back up data. Next thing I knew, the Geth ship latched on, and the power went out. I was trapped. I tried to get out, but the way was blocked.
We'll get you out, as soon as we find out what the Geth are after.
It's not the Geth, it's the energy field they put up. They don't want anyone else getting access to the...
I'm here for the Geth. It's very important I find out what they're after.
Didn't expect that many injuries to the point where we had no centre backs or strikers, but they nothing we really could do. Yeah.
It's an indigenous life form. Exogeny was studying it.
What else can you tell me? Do you know where I can find this thorium?
But that's why it still came to the whole like January window though, where they had plenty of like they still had plenty of time in that to get like a striker in, like they could have. I mean the centre back situation wasn't as bad because you were unlucky that Ballard got injured again, then Danny Bartley got injured and that, but the centre back one maybe I can let slide a little bit, but the striker situation was like inexcusable.
Do you know how we can shut it down?
No, not exactly. But I think the Geth ship is powering it. I've noticed the Geth laying power cables everywhere. You could follow those cables, but there's Geth all over the place.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm just a research assistant for Exogeny. I came here with my mother. I don't even know if she made it out alive.
She's with some others from the colony. She's safe for now.
She's alive? Oh, thank God. I thought I was the only one left. Please, Commander, just get that field down so I can see my mother again.
Why do you think the Geth would be interested in the thorium?
It's just a plant. I don't know why the Geth would care.
Your hostel went to
Exogeny was
shit.
studying it, but
I thought Gelhart improved and that, like, as the season came to an end and that, but obviously you fell for the lad because he wasn't meant to play up front, he was meant to play off a striker, so... Just makes me laugh. He didn't bring a strike. I know, like, obviously the club are, like, going through the whole process now with not panic buy and obviously, like, sticking to the targets and that, but when you're desperate and that, and you actually really need someone and that, I think that's when you have to panic. Like, sometimes you do need to panic in the window, especially if you've got no other options.
Tell me what you know.
And that's one thing that I think where the club did go wrong last season.
I think it's some kind of plant name. I know it's very old. Thousands of years even.
You stay put. I'll go open some doors.
Oh, here, take my ID. This should get you past any locked doors. Good luck with that field. Hey, as soon as you go, I'm gonna find a place to hide.
You stay
I'd rather play my girlfriend up front rather than Gelhart.
Good luck with the field.
No, but like that's the thing that I mean. Like, I know, like, he divided opinions and that. Like, I thought Gelhart did his best in that. I mean, his best attributes and that was actually, like, having the ball at his feet and that. And sometimes when he turned and that, he was very skillful and that, got a couple of assists and that, got a few goals. But it's just we weren't asking a lot of him and that because obviously he's not a target man. But we had no other choice, didn't we?
Stupid machine! Access encrypted file. No, I don't want to review protocol.
I am unable to comply. Please contact your supervisor.
Damn it! Tell me what I want or I'll blast your virtual ass into actual dust!
Please contact your supervisor for a level 4 security exemption, or make an appointment with...
Stupid machine!
If there is nothing else, please step aside. There is a queue forming behind you for the use of this console.
Stupid machine!
Exogeny Corporation reminds all staff that the discharging of weapons while on company property is strictly forbidden. Welcome back, Research Assistant Elizabeth Bainham. What can I do for you?
How do you know I'm Lisbon?
Your access card identifies you as Elizabeth Bainham. Is there something you require, Dr. Bainham?
What information was the last user attempting to access?
Fetching data. The previous user was attempting to access details on the study of subject species 37, the Thorian.
Tell me everything you told the Krogan.
I was unable to provide the previous user with any relevant data. Aside from lacking proper access, there has been no new data available on species 37. All sensors monitoring the observation post at Zeus Hope have been inactive for several cycles.
What does Zeus Hope have to do with the Thorium?
Species 37 is located...
I don't know why I keeps doing that, the chat for. Gelhart tried his best, just shame it didn't work out, yeah. They can be good panic, because Alex Neil was a panic manager position, but end up playing, but yeah. Yeah, I suppose that is actually a good point, to be honest, and that, like, Alex Bass, that was just like a kind of panic goalkeeper sided. That. I mean, it was more underwhelming, but yeah, to an extent it was. Yeah.
The Thorian is a simple plant life form that exhibits a sentient behavior uncommon with other flora. Through dispersion and the eventual inhalation of spores, it can affect and control other organisms, including humans. The Zeus Hope control group has yielded interesting results. Before sensors went offline, almost 85% of all test subjects were infected.
Someone got really offended by me saying I would have rather...
It was deemed necessary necessary to assess the
Yeah.
true potential of species 37.
Well, yeah, like that's not you like technically like slagging off them on Gelhardt. That's just because Gelhardt isn't a natural out-and-out striker. So.
Joker. Come in, Joker. Damn it, that field's blocking us.
We've got to drop that shield and get back to the outpost.
VI, what can you tell me about the Geth ship and the field it's generating?
I have limited data on the Geth. They have effectively blocked all sensors within the facility. I have detected unusual power fluctuations, but am unable to determine the source.
That was my end. End up with Marvellous Nakamba. I would love that. I mean, I wanted us to sign Nakamba last season. Didn't happen, and I mean, he ended up going to bloody Luton, but I wouldn't say no to Marvellous Nakamba. To be honest, Nakamba or that Dutch midfielder would be perfect for us.
Please access my personal files.
Elizabeth Bainham, Research Assistant, Biomedical Division, Security Level 4 exemption. You are currently under probation due to disagreements with management over established company policy. These sanctions may be lifted if your next evaluation is more agreeable.
What triggered
That guy is obviously a better footballer. Who's 18, yes, she likes football and can talk, but she doesn't.
As a result, you were tasked with monitoring the safety of the colonists for the duration of the observation.
What do you know about the Geth?
I have no specifics on the Geth as they relate to this facility. All sensors have been purposely decommissioned since their arrival.
I want to know about Exogeny Corporation.
Exogeny Corporation is at the forefront of human expansion in the new galactic economy, funding colonial development and securing resource rights to ensure our progress as a species. Further inquiries regarding company policy may
For me, Van Heck or Taylor Howard-Bellis would be fantastic. Yeah, Taylor Howard-Bellis wouldn't be a bad shout, to be fair.
Who's in charge here? Who organized it?
I think Van Heck would be more realistic, the fact that we've been linked with Van Heck a few times and that, and obviously I think the club might still have an interest, and maybe Mowbray might want to work with him again, but I wouldn't say no to Howard-Bellis. I think he would be great. Nakamba would probably stay at Luton. Is Nakamba good enough for the Premier League now, though? That's the thing. I mean, I do like Marvellous Nakamba, and I think he's a good footballer, but at his age now, was he 29, 30 now? I'm not sure if he's good enough for the Premier League anymore. But it just depends on Luton's budget, doesn't it? So.
Tell me about the Thorian.
Species 37 was discovered several weeks ago when a small...
Nathan Teller. I think Burnley are going to try and make his loan move permanent from Southampton, and it will happen as well, because obviously Teller will not want to play in the Championship again, and that's so. Yeah, I don't see Teller going back to Burnley on a permanent, to be honest.
Within 28 days, 85%.
What's the size of this thing?
The Thorian appears to be a diffused creature. Its cognitive abilities are centered in large nerve bundles, but it receives data from kilometers of
Luton, you got to take that chance, but how many Luton players are good enough for the Prem? Yeah, I suppose that's a good point.
Coordinate the massive sensory potential it possesses. It may simply process such stimulation slowly, or perhaps there is a nerve cluster of a greater magnitude.
Well, Daniel Amarty's going to be a free agent, and that like in July, and that. So let's get Daniel Amarty on a free transfer over that. Like when he gets released from Leicester, that would be great. Like it's not going to happen, or even that Nampala's Mendy, and that even him.
Is it intelligent? Can I reason with it?
The Thorian does not exhibit the focused behavior of a predator. The release of spores is an act of survival.
Bernie Santella. Surely that means they won't want Clark. Yeah.
But we have yet to discover whether it recognizes or is capable.
I think because of like Southampton being like relegated and that, and the fact that Burnley like going up, and the fact that the player was there and that, like I think Southampton will probably cash in on them pretty cheap. Probably only cost them about 10 million or just under, and that. So yeah.
Do you know how the creature controls its slaves?
The will subversion manifests as intense pain if directed.
But I really do hope we go into the free agent market as well. I really do, and that because there is going to be some really good free agents out there. And that, like, if you look at the right ones and make them come to Sunderland for the right reasons, and that, like what we did with Alex Pritchard, like what we did with Corey Evans as well, like back in League One, and that there's good free agents out there, and I hope we like go into it because we didn't do it last season.
Where's the center of this thing?
If I'm Southampton, I wouldn't tell her no matter what. Well, yeah, they shouldn't, but he enjoyed his loan spell at Burnley, very successful in that. He'll want to go to Burnley, won't he? For me, no offence, but Luton are going straight back down, put up a fight, but never been. Yeah. I think they'll come straight back down as well.
That's enough for now.
I know they got a lot of money like for going up for the playoffs and that, but a lot of that money's gonna have to go like into the club, like off the pitch and that, and just they probably won't even have like a massive budget anyway. So, I mean, I know stranger things have happened, but yeah, I can't see Luton surviving. To be honest, and that, like, I'm not even sure really if Burnley will even survive. To be honest, either, and that because Burnley's style of play under Vincent Kompany is very similar to where Norwich used to play under Daniel Farke, and that style, if you were like a smallish team, doesn't work. You think Sheffield United go down? To be honest, I actually think Sheffield United might do the best out of the promoted sides, personally. I don't know why. I don't know, I've just got a funny feeling Sheffield United, but I'm not saying like Sheffield United will do amazing or anything, but I think Sheffield United might just scrape up, maybe. Brutal, yeah.
We need a way to give it a kick. Let's check the other claws. Damn things can't be perfect. Engine target.
Looks like the gang built themselves some kind of church.
I think Sheffield United, Luton, and Bournemouth will go down. I'll tell you one thing in that, I think a lot of people thought Bournemouth would have went down last season and that, but I think Gary O'Neill's done a fantastic job at Bournemouth. And that's the thing in that, like, I don't know, I think Bournemouth's actually got the money now. Because they're new American owners and that are actually quite wealthy, like, to be honest. So, I don't know, I think Bournemouth might be okay, to be honest. But you never know. I mean, nobody thought Leicester would have got relegated, and look what happened. So, football's a strange game. You just never know. Thing I'll say about Burnley, if they play the same way this season, next season, then well, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. And that, like, it's good football, like playing out from the back and that, but for it to work and that, you do need a really good squad to do that, and obviously they will need a really like good transfer window for it, like, to pull it off. And that, like, if they don't, and that, it's pretty much the same team, and that they'll come straight back down. It just depends on the transfer window. I know it sounds crazy, but this season anything can happen. Yeah. Could go down, could be mid-table, playoffs or top 2. Yeah. I will say one thing, right? I mean, I do respect, like, Christian Speakman actually saying we want to be challenging for top 2 and that, but the way we go about, like business, right, and the fact that it doesn't seem like we're going to be spending that much money either, and that, so part of us is starting to think now, I don't know why he said that for. I would have been just like, it got us a little bit excited, but in reality in that, like, I kind of wish he didn't say it now, like, because we're not going to finish in the top 2. Like, let's be real, we're not. And that, like, if we finished in the top 2 with that, like, I would be very, very shocked in that. For me, we should be just aiming for top 6 again, in my opinion. I think we should be aiming to do better than last season. And that, because of the size of the club and expectations and that, like, I think we should be aiming to try and finish 5th or 4th or maybe 3rd if we're lucky, but I don't think we're going to finish in the top 2 and that, like, with the relegated teams coming down, the teams that struggled last season, the likes of Watford, Norwich, West Brom, they'll all improve, and that, so it's going to be hard, and that, like, we're just not going to spend the money, and that, like, to compete with the top two. We're not. We've got a good team, and that when everyone's fit, and if we keep everyone, and that, like, don't get us wrong, we've got a good team, but is it good enough to finish in the top two? In my opinion, no. I don't think we'll go down. I think worst that will happen. We miss. Well, yeah. Like worst case scenario, we miss out on the top six and that, or if it's really bad, then that mid table. But no, we'll not go down, and that we're too good for that. So yeah, I respect Speakman for saying that. Like, there's obviously that's like him trying to say that we want to try and aim to be as like good as we can and that, but we're not going to finish top two. For us to finish top two with that, the club would have to spend over like £20 million, and we're not going to. I think we'll be lucky if we actually spend about £10 million, if I'm being honest. I mean, I'm not saying this like in a bad way, or trying to be negative in that, but when we're like only going to spend like a couple of £100,000 on an Australian lad, right? That kind of tells you what kind of budget we're operating on. Which at the same time, I suppose you still have to question the ownership a little bit as well, because you've got like a billionaire, right? I mean, Donald's gone now, so for me, there's no excuses. And that, like, Donald's gone, and that money should not be a problem in that. But if we're going to operate like on a low budget and that, then the best we can hope for is top six again. I agree with you there. I think we have a decent squad, but definitely not good enough. No, it's definitely not good enough for top two. No way. Nah, I mean, 5 or 6 top additions and that, like, and spend over £20 million, maybe, but obviously that's not going to happen. Yeah, I honestly, right, I actually think Leicester and Leeds are going to struggle a little bit next season. I think they'll struggle to actually just finish in the top 6. I think one might get top 6, and I think the other might miss out. I don't know which one. I actually think Southampton will do a Burnley in that, because I think Southampton's got a decent, talented, like, young squad. And that, like, if they don't lose that many players, and that they'll make a few signings, I think Southampton could do a Burnley next season. I really do. I forgot where I was for a second there. Good. Let's we'll lose all this. Yeah, well, a lot of players leaving on a free. Obviously, Maddison will be going. So it said that the only players who are out of contract that look like they're going to stay is Hamza Chowdhury and Johnny Evans. That's it. Every other player that's out of contract's leaving, even Yuri Tillemans. Which you expect, obviously, he's not going to play in the Championship, and I suppose rightly so. But there again, his attitude last season was really poor. So
Same as before. We don't have the ordnance to blow this claw. Let's keep looking.
This wasn't staying at Everson, Suter, Thomas, Dewsbury Hall, Vardy. Yeah, players like that probably. Well, Dewsbury Hall will definitely stay because obviously he's a Leicester lad, like through and through and that. And yeah, like that's the thing of that. Like Vardy could have potential, and that like next season to like be the top goal scorer in the championship, regardless whether Leicester actually do well or not. But obviously Vardy's not good enough for the Premier League anymore. But championship, I wouldn't be surprised if he scored 15, 20 plus goals, to be honest. Clark Harris link. Yeah, he's been linked a couple of times. Apparently the club have watched him a few times last season. I mean, I wouldn't say no. I would take a gamble on Clark Harris. I mean, personally, I would rather Ellis Sims back, but I wouldn't say no to Clark Harris. And I think it'd be worth a gamble, but it's just whether we would pay the money for him or not. Because I do think Clark Harris would probably do well, and that with better players around him. Because a lot of people always say, like, no, it's like because obviously he's not good enough in the championship. But look at the players that he's got, like playing alongside him at Peterborough, with the quality like we've got. And that, I think he could score 15, 20 plus goals in that easy in the championship with us. Ross Stewart against Vardy. Vardy probably couldn't be bothered to move at his age. Whether he's good enough for the Prem, yeah, maybe. Michael Yekwi, not for me, not for me. I think he's a League One defender. Sometimes I nail this straight away, and sometimes I don't. He's League One, we don't want any League One. Oh yeah, about Clark Harris or Yekwi and that, because there's some League One players I wouldn't mind like taking a gamble on, like some who are young and talented but obviously they're too good for that league, and that, or maybe some experience that can play in the championship. It just depends on that, but some, like I said, Clark Harris for me, I wouldn't say no. Yekwi, not for me, no. There we go. Finally. Sometimes I go straight away, sometimes I don't. Oh, Michael Yekwi, yeah. Yeah, like, he's a great like defender in League One, but Championship, nah. Maybe his backup and that, maybe, but he's not. He's one of those players at his age and that, like, you don't want to be backup, you want to be playing regular football. But I just don't think if you want to be going for promotion, and that's not the kind of signing that you need to be making.
Wow, that got the job done.
This was my kind of mission: kill a bunch of guests and end things off with a huge crash.
I repeat, Normandy to shore party. Are you reading? Anyone there? Normandy to shore party. Come on, Commander, talk to me.
Is that you, Joker? What's going on over there?
We're in lockdown here, Commander. Something happened to the colonists. They're banging on the hull, trying to claw their way inside the ship. They're freaking out.
They can't do any real damage. We're on our way back.
Wrexham go up to League One next season. They could do.
Well, we'll just wait right here for you, Commander.
This place will be crawling with Geth in a minute. Keep together and we'll get out of here in one piece.
Probably a squad player with Sheffield this season that would be happy with mid-table, yeah. I think Sheffield will probably do okay, to be honest. I mean, I think out of the promoted sides and that, like, I think Ipswich will probably likely to do the best out of the promoted sides. I know, like, I think we mentioned this before and that, but personally and that, like, I think Plymouth will probably, I wouldn't be surprised if Plymouth went straight back down, to be honest. Especially where, like, a lot of their, like, signings and that, like, last season were, like, loan players, weren't they? So, yeah, like, I think Plymouth might go back down. And I think Sheffield will be mid-table. Now, Ipswich could have potential maybe for a top half finish, maybe. Because obviously Ipswich have got the money now. Excuse me, Rex. Coming through. Right now, who do you think will get relegated from the championship for me? Cardiff, Rotherham, QPR.
We should get out of here. I don't think this place is
Cardiff,
safe.
Cardiff, Rotherham, and Plymouth. Erling Haaland, absolutely.
I need some answers. You knew more about the Thorian than you let on.
I was afraid. I wanted to stop the tests, but they threatened me. Told me I'd be next. When the Geth attacked, I stayed behind to send a message to Colonial Affairs. I tried to tell them where to find the Thorian, but the power cut before I could send the message. I never meant for this to happen.
You did what you could. I'll help, if you can tell me where to find the Thorian.
The Thorian is underneath Zoo's Hope, but the entrance is
Kimmy.
blocked. The colonists covered it with the freighter just before the Geth attacked.
But why are the Geth after the Thorian? What could Saren want with it?
Well, it does have unique mind control capabilities. That's what Exogeny was interested in.
Normandy to shore party, come in.
What is it, Joker?
We're getting a lot of Geth comm chatter. Looks like they're headed your way.
Thanks for the heads up, Joker.
Just don't think Ainsworth gets the best out of that. No.
I'm coming with you. I might be able to help.
I actually thought they were going to go down last season, to be honest. QPR really did. I mean, they could do, but I don't know, I think maybe Plymouth might just go down ahead of them. But it might be coming for QPR potentially, and that, you know, similar to like how it finally caught up like with Redden, so... QPR were awful. They were. That's, I mean, they were good when Michael Beale was in charge. When Michael Beale was in charge, and that they potentially they could have been in a top 6 bomb fight. But once Michael Beale left and went to Rangers, then that QPR just fell apart. And yeah, under Neil Critchley and obviously Gareth Ainsworth and that, yeah, they were absolutely awful. Yeah, it's funny too, like experienced managers and that struggled with QPR, but then an inexperienced manager, Michael Beale, actually did the best. It's crazy that. But it will depends on. I don't think they'll go down in that, but I think it just depends. Yeah, it just depends on who the manager is. But I think they'll be fine, and I think there's worse teams than Huddersfield. Wow, what's that doing there? Yeah, so I'll deal with that, just blast it with a cannon.
Is there anyone picking this up? Get away from the radio!
What was that?
This is Juliana Bainham of Pharaoh's Colony. Please, help us.
That's my mom! Stop! Stop the rover!
Birmingham always down. Yeah, Birmingham always tend to be like either just scraping mid-table or in a relegation fight, yeah.
You can't do this, John.
Everyone shut up! Let me think.
What's going on?
You won't get away with this.
Get her out of here!
Get away from her, you son of a bitch!
Lisbeth!
Damn it! Come out where I can see you! All of you!
That's at the start of next about 15 will believe thing. Yeah, that's true.
I knew it was
It'll be very competitive, it'll be harder than last
I
season.
found some interesting facts about you in the Exogeny database. I know what you did during the Blitz, but your heroics aren't needed here.
We can talk this out. Nobody needs to get hurt.
You don't understand, it's not that easy. Communications are back up. Exogeny wants this place purged.
This is a human colony, John. You can't just repurpose us.
It's not just you. There's something here far more valuable than a few colonists.
You're after the one unique thing Pharos has, the Thorian.
The what?
It's a telepathic life form living under Zeus' hope. It's taking control of the colonists there. Exogeny knew all along.
You won't get away with this, John.
So you keep saying, but nobody's gonna miss a few colonists.
Can't you see the inherent potential in this colony? Think of the promotional opportunities.
Opportunities? What the hell are you talking about?
They recovered from an alien attack on a frontier world. Add that to your company profile.
Well, yeah. No one's ever gone broke playing the champion of humanity card.
Sadly, you'd probably make a killing. But if it will let us get back to our lives, I'm for it.
It just might work. Wait, no, but the infected colonists will throw a bit of a wrench in that plan. No, they need to disappear.
You can't just kill the colonists. It's not their fault.
If you kill only the Thorian, it might be enough to stop the infection.
Rotherham and Cardiff, keep your Huddersfield, Birmingham will probably be the ones that will be okay with. Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah, like obviously with like expectations and stuff and that, like what instead of being the relegation fight, yeah, definitely.
It's worth a try, but I don't know if I can avoid harming the colonists.
There has to be another way.
Maybe there is. Come and talk to me before you leave, Commander.
Just make sure there's no evidence when you're done.
I reckon even Ipswich and Sheffield will believe they can get. Why? I mean, because of the size of like the, well, especially Sheffield. I mean, Sheffield's a bigger club, but I don't know, Sheffield, mid-table or maybe outside chance of maybe like a top-end finish, but Ipswich and that like will definitely have ambitions to like be better than mid-table, but just depends on like how much they spend.
Any luck finding my workstation out in the ruins?
I managed to find the data and transfer it to your OSD.
That's very good news indeed. Thank you.
I was there anyway. It was the least I could do.
Well, I appreciate it. Here, you've certainly earned it. Thanks again, Commander.
Thanks again.
It's almost time, isn't it?
I'm glad you decided to help us. I think there's a way to avoid killing the
What did you have in mind?
I think you could safely use a nerve agent to neutralize the colonists.
Like a gas grenade.
Releasing clouds of nerve gas doesn't seem like a particularly good idea.
It's not like it's weapons grade. The insecticide we use in the grow labs contains trace amounts of tetraclopine, a neuromuscular degenerator. If their nervous systems are already weakened, it may act as a paralyzing agent.
If we must consider it, dropping in a concussion grenade.
Sounds good. I'll do what I can.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Commander.
Anti-Thorian gas.
We'll stay out of your way until
You shouldn't be wasting time. Deal with the Thorian.
That's another thing I didn't agree with Ian's with. He said he's scared him about how many big clubs there are in the league, if I am yeah. Well, because Ian's with really and that he's a League One manager. I mean, Wickham was the club for him, and that. I mean, did a fantastic job there. I know he used to play for like QPR as well, but as a player, but yeah. I'm thinking, which was the end. But as a player, you don't want to hear. No, not really. Yeah, it doesn't really fill you like with much confidence in that when your manager's basically like scared. But technically that's a QPR's like board's like fault and not like hiring the answer in the first place. Like clearly a manager that's just not good enough to manage in the championship. Get first game of the season. I don't know why, but I've got a funny feeling. I mean, I don't know like whether home or away, right? But I think it's going to be Leeds or Leicester. I don't know why. I've just got a funny feeling it's going to be one of them two. I hope it's Leeds. Leeds at home first game of the season. Oh, that'd be a cracker. Wouldn't mind that, but yeah, I think Leeds or Leicester. Oh shit! I need to drop the controller there. Oof. Stork at home. Oh, Christ.
There's no way that's you. Infection or not.
No hitting the colonists, even if the Thorian makes them fire on us. That's what the gas grenades are for.
You got it, Commander. Let's do this.
Yeah, Alex Neal. Yeah, no worries, mate. Because that's of someone who I think will play on the opening tier. Boxing Day, New Year's. Yeah, and the last year, and I went. Opening Day, Stoke at home, Boxing Day home. Oh, Boxing Day, like Hull at home, New Year's Day, Preston away, and last day Norwich away. Alright, okay. Interesting. Alright then, so I'm gonna say opening day, Leeds at home. Actually, I'll get back to you after this. Hang on.
I tried to fight it, but it gets in your head. You can't imagine the pain. I'm supposed to be their leader. These people don't trust me. It wants me to stop you, but I won't. I won't!
Yeah, just glitches and that. Like, that's the problem with this legendary edition. Sometimes like, there's glitches and that. Like, you usually see Fidan's body there. Oh well. Right, so opening day for me, we'll say Leeds at home. Boxing Day, I'm going to say Blackburn away. New Year's Day, I'm going to say Swansea at home. And then last day of the season, I'm going to say Bristol City away. Don't know why. And I think I'll play Middlesbrough, and I went home in October away. Oh, no, away in March. Alright, okay.
Okay, by the numbers. We just need to find... What is that?
That does not look like any plant I've ever seen. This may be problematic.
I said, does it really matter who we play with? When if we are going to go up, we'll win whoever we play. Yeah, true.
Invaders, your every step is a transgression. 1,000 feelers appraise you as meat, good only to dig or decompose. I speak for the old growth as I did for Saren. You are within and before the Thorian. It commands that you be in awe.
You gave something to Saren. Something I need.
Saren sought knowledge of those who are gone. The old growth listened to flesh for the first time in the long cycle. Trades were made. Then cold ones began killing the flesh that would tend the next cycle. Flesh fairly given.
The old growth sees the air you push as lies. It will listen no more.
I won't let you keep your thralls. Release them, now!
No more will the Thorian listen to those that scurry. Your lives are short, but have gone on too long. Your
What the chances of us getting held? Probably will. I mean, I'm not ruling out. I'm not ruling out like promotion or anything like next season. That like I think it's a possibility, and I just don't think we're going to do it automatically. That's all. If we do, then that'll be the playoffs. So our prediction right. Stop. My bad. I thought you were talking about going up at first.
That hurt it. I can tell. A few more of those and it's in trouble.
And here we are. I play and we probably... Yeah. I got you. Price level 46. Bloody hell. How I said I was going to take my last Plymouth away because she was in Plymouth. I'll be fuming if Plymouth at home is 6. Yeah. Yeah. I said I'll be fuming if it's November 6th because of the 50th birth. Ah, right.
Gun is near.
It's the 6th of November, that's her birthday. Presents to stop there. They all put Plymouth and Southampton to wear on a nice little show there, zero respect. Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely.
I suppose I should thank you for releasing me.
Is everything all right? Are you hurt?
I am fine, or I will be, in time. My name is Shiala. I served Matriarch Benezia. When she allied herself with Saren, so did I. Benezia foresaw the influence Saren would have. She joined him to guide him down a gentler path. But Saren is compelling. Benezia lost her way.
Are you saying Saren can control minds?
Benezia underestimated Saren, as I did. We came to believe in his cause and his goals. The strength of his influence is troubling.
Typical Asari meddling. About time it hit you in the ass.
Asari matriarchs are among the most intelligent and powerful beings in the galaxy. How could one fall under Saren's control?
Saren has a vessel, an enormous warship unlike anything I've ever seen. He calls it Sovereign. It can dominate the minds of his followers. They become indoctrinated to Saren's will.
Yeah, it's the first of...
It can take days, weeks,
but in the end, my last 2 weeks of college
absolute.
Tomorrow.
I
Alright,
was a willing
nice.
slave when Saren brought me to this world. He needed my biotics to communicate with the Thorian to learn its secrets. Saren offered me in trade. I was sacrificed to secure an alliance between Saren and the Thorian.
Saren's pretty quick to betray his own people.
He was quick to betray the Thorian, too. After he had what he wanted, he ordered the Geth to destroy all evidence of its existence. Saren knows you are searching for the conduit. He knows you're following his steps. He attacked the Thorian so you could not gain the cipher.
What's the cipher? And why did Saren need it?
The beacon on Eden Prime gave you visions. But the visions are unclear, confusing. They were meant for a Prothean mind. To truly comprehend them, you must think like a Prothean. You must understand their culture, their history, their very existence. The Thorian was here long before the Protheans built this city. It watched and studied them. When they died, it consumed them. They became a part of it.
So the Thorian taught Saren to think like a Prothean. How?
The cipher is the very essence of being a Prothean. It cannot be described or explained. It would be like describing color to a creature without eyes. To understand, you must have access to endemic ancestral memory. A viewpoint spanning thousands of Prothean generations. I sensed this ancestral memory, the cipher, when I melded with the Thorian. Our identities merged, our minds intertwined. Such knowledge cannot be taught. It simply exists.
I need that
I've been
knowledge
told
to
they were
stop
doing this
Saren.
40 in the last week. Guess who will
There is
be
a way. I can transfer the knowledge
P2.
from my mind to yours.
competitive, yeah.
Try to relax, Commander. Slow, deep breaths. Let go of your physical shell. Reach out to grasp the threads that bind us, one to another. Every action sends ripples across the galaxy. Every idea must touch another mind to live. Each emotion must mark another's spirit. We are all connected. Every living being united in a single glorious existence. Open yourself to the universe, Commander. Embrace eternity.
Alright, man. I'll catch you later, man.
I have given you the cipher, just as it was given to Saren. The ancestral memories of the Protheans are part of you now.
What just happened? Are you okay?
I saw something. It still didn't make any sense.
You have been given a great gift. The experience of an entire people. It will take time for your mind to process this information.
You look pretty rough. We should get you back to the ship.
I'm sorry if you have suffered, but there was no other way. You needed the cipher. In time, it will help you understand the vision from the beacon.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the Thorian?
When the creature enveloped me, I became part of it. But I still don't truly understand it. So alien, so ancient. Its exact age is impossible to know. It measured time differently. 10,000 years of hibernation broken by a few frantic centuries of activity. Its mind was awesome, magnificent. It transcended all classification. And now it is gone.
Don't tell me you feel sorry for that thing.
The Thorian was a unique life form. A sentient being that lived for 50,000 years, maybe more. There is nothing even remotely like it in the known galaxy. I'm grateful you saved me from a life of thraldom. Yet I cannot help but feel some sorrow for the loss of such a rare and remarkable creature.
Tell me more about this ship Saren has.
Sovereign is alien. I do not know how it was built or where it comes from. Its design does not match that of any known spacefaring species. It dwarfs any vessel in the Citadel or Alliance fleets. Its weapons are devastating. Its defenses virtually impenetrable. With it, Saren believes he is unstoppable.
You said Saren uses it to manipulate his followers.
The indoctrination. There is an energy about Sovereign. You feel drawn to the ship. It makes Saren's arguments more persuasive, more compelling. Spend enough time in Sovereign's presence and you will lose yourself. There's no other way to explain it.
I want to know more about Benezia.
Benezia was greatly respected among our people. A powerful biotic, even for an Asari. She was widely known as a teacher of philosophy and religion. She always sought the paths of peace and harmony. She joined with Saren because she hoped to turn him away from his path of destruction.
Instead, she became one of his most powerful allies.
As I mentioned before, Matriarch Benezia underestimated Saren. Be sure you do not make the same mistake.
What else can you tell me about Saren?
There is little I could tell you that you do not already know. He's powerful, he's charismatic, and he is dangerous. Once I followed him, blind to his true nature. But now I see he's leading the galaxy into an age of darkness and suffering.
I want to know more about you.
There is nothing remarkable about me. I was merely one of Matriarch Benezia's disciples. For nearly 2 centuries I followed her, learning at her feet. When Benezia revealed her plan to join Saren, she gave her disciples a choice. Only those who were willing had to follow her. Many felt her plan was too dangerous, but I believed in her. I thought she could turn Saren away from his insanity. Instead, we joined him in it.
Now that you're free of the Thorian, what are you planning to do next?
If you allow it, I would like to stay here with the colonists. They have suffered greatly, and I played a role in their suffering. I would like to make amends.
The colonists will need all the help they can get. They'll be happy to have you on their side.
Thank you, Commander. May fortune smile upon you.
I can't believe it. Jong says we'll have all the money we need to keep this place running. It's because of you, Shepard. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much. Now Exogeny will pour the money in. We'll be able to rebuild and then some.
Ships are already on their way here with supplies.
Oh, thanks again. That aid will be very valuable.
All traces of the Thorian will be here.
I fought so hard, but any thought of my own cause? I will do what I can to assist the colony in this difficult time. I am ashamed of the damage done to the lives of these people.
Farewell, Shiala.
Farewell, Commander. I wish you well in your hunt.
I never thought I would be so thrilled to see a soldier. Forgive my previous inaction, but under the Thorian's influence, every thought was examined, filtered.
What will you do now that the fighting is over?
I may stay, try to recover my losses. I can have new supplies delivered within weeks. Perhaps the colony will survive after all.
Let me see what you have in stock.
Of course. Return in the future, and I may even have more to see.
Oh, excuse me.
Damn thing is out of my head. I can think without pain. And with the power cells you brought, I can get this place up and running again. Thanks, Commander.
It will take time.
Thank you for everything you did.
Thanks, Commander. It's great to be free again.
Thanks to you, Greta and I can start over.
Thank you for everything you tried to do here.
I'm free. Thank you for giving me my mind back.
Free? I can't believe I'm free. That was a nightmare. No one should ever feel pain like that.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Decontamination.
Commander, you look pale. Are you suffering any ill effects from the cipher?
The cipher shook me up a bit.
I might be able to help you. I am an expert on the Protheans. If I join my consciousness to yours, maybe we can make some sense of it.
Do it. Hurry. We don't have much time.
Relax, Commander. Embrace eternity. Incredible. All this time, all my research, yet I never dreamed. I am sorry. The images were so vivid. I never imagined the experience would be so intense. You are remarkably strong-willed, Commander. What you have been through, what you have seen, would have destroyed a lesser mind.
Come on, get to the point. What did you see?
The beacon on Eden Prime must have been badly damaged. Large parts of the vision are missing. The data transferred into the commander's mind is incomplete.
You sure you didn't come across any kind of clue or hint? Something we might have missed?
Everything I saw, you already know. You were right about the Reapers. The Protheans were destroyed by a race of sentient machines. I think it is obvious there is a connection between the Reapers, the Prothean extinction, and the Conduit. But I did not see anything that would help us find it.
What's our next move?
I was able to interpret the data relayed through your vision. What was there, at least. But something was missing. Saren must have the missing information. Maybe he found another beacon. If we can find the missing data from your vision, I can... Oh. I am sorry. The joining is exhausting. I should go to the medical bay and lie down for a moment.
Dr. Chakwas should take a look at you.
That will not be necessary. I just need some rest. Somewhere quiet.
We're done here. Dismissed.
I've sent off the Pharos report, Commander. You want me to patch it through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Commander, Exogeny should have told us about the Thorian. It would have made your job much easier.
You might have been able to capture it for study instead of destroying it.
The Thorian liked to enslave minds. Anyone who studied it would have ended up as one of its thralls.
Perhaps it's for the best then. At least the colony was saved.
Of course it was saved. Shepard would go to any lengths to help a human colony.
Being human had nothing to do with it. They were in trouble.
Admirable. But sometimes Spectres have to make sacrifices. I hope you're willing to do that when the time comes.
Goodbye, Commander. We will be waiting for your next report.
Hey, Commander, next time we touch down, let's try not to park the ship in a colony of mutant zombies. Just thinking out loud here.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I'm glad there aren't many aliens like the Thorian. I don't think my stomach could take it. Hell of a deal you worked out with John, though. If I ever get a speeding ticket, I want you to be my advocate.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
They deserve to know what we're up against.
They're on your side. They're pissed about the resistance we're getting, especially from our side. I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting. Whether L2s flare up.
Anything I can do?
No, Commander, it'll settle down. It's rough sometimes, but they spike higher than a lot of L3s. Except for you, of course. Besides, I fared a lot better than some after Kinetics was through.
I haven't heard anything about Kinetics in a while.
Yeah, they quietly disappeared. Broke up into a bunch of little corps after they'd botched the training on Jump Zero. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
I'm sure Kinetics did what they thought was best.
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. A real hard-ass. He basically had a free pass to break us if it would turn out a decent biotic. Kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Did he ever face charges for that?
He got his, yeah. But like everything else at Jump Zero, it was under the table. The less said, the better. Anyway, this is ancient stuff. I walked it off a long time ago. I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
We don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage and heroism.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you. To understand what made you into the man you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
You're interested in me because of my visions. You just want to know more about the Protheans.
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest. But it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard. But I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Chief Williams.
How could you and I have a relationship? We're not even the same species.
Asari and humans are physiologically compatible in most ways, Commander. Of course, a relationship must involve more than mere physical contact. There must also be an emotional and spiritual connection between us. Our species may be different, but there are many things we could share. But none of this matters if you are already involved in a serious relationship with Chief Williams.
I care about Ash. A lot.
I thought so. Still, I feel as if there is also some attraction between us, Shepard.
I'm not interested in you in that way, Liara.
This is very embarrassing for me, Commander. Please, let's talk about something else.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Commander, good to see you. You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the Cyclones. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Saren, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development. But there was nothing. No Salarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threatening? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Sarean's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. We just used them to make more organs. They wouldn't listen.
Well, it's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Patton and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
You have any idea what happened to Dr. Saren?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Saren, I want to be there when you find him.
Oh, before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, Sith.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
Afraid I did.
Oh, shoot me now. One of my sisters. That's Sarah, the youngest. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, Took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
You're lucky to have a close family.
Sorry, I forgot about your family situation.
Or lack thereof. Relax, Williams. I've dealt with it.
Asked me to clear a bunker of armed hostiles? No problem. Dealing with the foot in my mouth? Not so good with it. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did. Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobyl. Same cluster, but a dozen LY away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice. They do great things to her figure, though.
You traveled all the way home to walk your sister to school.
It was only a dozen light years, like a day's cruise. It's not like I was going to Earth or something. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was going to end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known. Cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
I never thought I'd hear you reciting poetry.
Just because I can drill you between the eyes at 100 meters doesn't mean I can't like sensitive stuff. Just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though. So behave.
You mean from wherever we go after death?
Dead on, Skipper. He's with God now. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Everyone has the right to believe what they want. Says so in the Alliance Charter. Only with fancier words.
I'm glad you're open-minded about it. I've met a few people who are really weirded out by my faith. Because I work in space, I can't believe in a higher power? Jeez. Hello, have you people looked out the window? How can you look at this galaxy and not believe in something? I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
A little spooky how you handle that John guy. Didn't figure you'd know how to speak corporate.
All you need to do is show them how getting what you want gets them what they want.
You make it sound easy. Frankly, I just wanted to put a few rounds in him and leave.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Sure.
So, you'd rather be a merc than help your people?
I'm a fighter. It's what I do.
Aren't you at all worried about what will happen to the Krogan?
What the hell do you want me to do about it, Shepard? I'm tired of sticking my ass on the line and getting nothing for it.
So you're just giving up on your people?
I gave up on fighting for a lost cause. I'm not like you, Shepard. I'm no hero. Bottom line, killing for credits simplifies things.
You ever think about helping your people?
I try not to. But there's a lot of Krogan mercs out there. I'm always running into them. Half the time I'm being paid to kill them. But that's just part of the job. You don't get to pick who your enemies are.
How long have you been a merc?
Long enough. I took my first contract right after I left my home system. It's good work. It doesn't kill you.
I get the feeling you enjoy your work.
Sure. You get to see the galaxy on someone else's credits, and most days end with a good fight. I've tried more organized fighting, private armies and such, but it gets too messy. I fight best on my own, or in very small groups. I don't like people relying on me, and I bloody well don't like relying on them.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
I should go.
See you later.
Right, I'm going to end the stream now for the time being, so thank you to everyone that has stopped by, and to anyone that watches it back. I hope you enjoy. If you have hit the like button, subscribe, all that, I would really appreciate it. And until the next one, make sure you stay safe, look after yourselves, and yeah, take care all, and peace.